The Tupelo Fire Department. Witnesses saw the crash happen and called 911. When Dr. Rochelle Brackney begins her job as Jackson's police chief April 1st, she will be the highest paid person on the city payroll, reports WLBT. She was promised a $150,000 a year salary, and the council voted Tuesday to afford her that, despite a salary cap of $130 grand. $20 grand will come from somewhere else. A shooting at a Yazoo City apartment. 22-year-old Jeffrey Johnson is dead, says the police department. That happened Monday about 1:30 p.m. at the Greystone Apartments on West 2nd Street. The sheriff's department says 2 people are in custody. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith wins the Republican nomination for U.S. Senate in Tuesday's primary election and will face Lowndes County District Attorney Scott Holm in the Democratic side. For Congress, Democrat Benny Thompson wins re-nomination, and it appears he will face Republican Ron Eller, who got a bit over 50% of the Republican vote. You're listening to 103.9 WYAB.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing it, and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome into the Lindsey Beckham Show. We are live here in the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios here in the heart of Florida, the Cotton Exchange Plaza. 601-879-0002 is the number to the station if you would like to call in, if you have anything you'd like to say today. 601-879-4648 is our text line if you have anything you would like to text us. I am joined today by your favorite attorney and mine, Mr. Shaun Yurtkuran. We had a late night last night. We were both in Oxford. And Shaun, how are you feeling today?
I'm busy, really busy. I'm tired.
You're tired?
Yeah.
I think I'm still a little amped up after that debate. I couldn't quite sleep last night, but we had fun. It was a civil, very respectful debate, but I think that I did make some valid points, and I'm just glad that it was all recorded on video, right, Shaun?
Yeah, yep. So are we after this? Are we done with school choice?
We're done with school choice when it passes, Shaun.
Okay, just making sure.
Yesterday was an election day, though.
Yeah, woohoo! Like, yeah,
didn't look like
real exciting.
It didn't look like many people got out to vote.
Yeah, I think the results were already pretty much. I think everybody knew what was going to happen. Though I did hear, did Ron Eller win just now? I listened to the news there.
Yeah, I guess have they called it? I looked this morning and
I heard Chris Davis on the news just now when we were coming on saying looks like he won. So I don't know.
So I guess that will be Ron Eller, Benny Thompson face
off. It sounds like the election to become the next leader of Iran. You know, like you might not exist for that long. What I mean is, you want to run it. Well, I mean, if you're gonna, it's like a kamikaze mission. You're gonna run against Benny. It's so funny. Ever since I've been at the radio station for the last 3 years, like I've learned something about like Lindsey, you and I were discussing this last night. I think it's a good conversation to take to the air. With delusional politics is what I call it, right? So no one is going to beat Benny Thompson. Like, it's not going to happen. Nobody is going to beat him. Like, he's going to win. That is it. Case closed. I'll bet you my house, anything you want. Nothing. He's going to win. And all these people keep running. Like, it's just funny. Like, they have this like trooper lever system. Like, I'm good. I got a chance. It's already districted up where you can't win if you're a Republican. You're just not going to win. Just like a Democrat's not going to beat Michael Guest. That's not going to happen. So
let's talk about that, Shaun, because I don't believe, first of all, I don't think a BVAP should be any part of the equation when it comes to how we draw lines and draw out our districts. I think you disagree with me on some of this, but I don't understand why race matters when we are looking at what districts and where lines are drawn. I think that is something that was, I guess, started way back when. I know you know the law on this, but what is the reasoning behind that, and why have we not gotten past that at this point in time?
The reasoning behind it obviously was to ensure that basically the black people had a voice in politics, which they didn't for generations, as we very well know. And if there's not given consideration to that, the thought process is that they'll have zero political power. So it's an argument whether you believe that or not, whether you think that that shouldn't factor in to whether a group should have, that it should just be, I guess for lack of a better word, like colorblind, where everybody just votes. Well, in this state, we know what would happen. Let's be honest. It'd be partitioned up, and it would be all white Republicans that would win. I mean, that's what would happen. And that's what the courts have tried to work against. And, like I said, either you agree with that or you don't. And that's the debate on that, pretty much. I mean, that's what you'd have. The choice would be what other white Republican would win. I mean, that's what would happen. And I think that's what. And there's a case, I think the one out of Louisiana that everybody's waiting on for the Supreme Court to rule on that, how that's going to apply in the future. Right now, I mean, obviously, law is set as it's set, where those considerations are taken into account, just like we saw the new Supreme Court districts. I think they had to be they're going to be redrawn, and I believe that's Judge Aycock out of the Northern District ruled on that. So, but there is a case in the U.S. Supreme Court that is going to have a significant impact on what we're talking about right now, whether that's going to be applicable in the future.
But that's basically saying that every single black person has to be a Democrat.
Yeah, but I mean, right? If sure it is. I mean, it's or whatever party they want to do. I guess it could be independent. But what the argument against it is, the reality is it's going to be, there's a Republican legislature who's going to carve it up if they're not restricted this way, and then it's going to be all white Republicans. And I'll bet I'll bet you get my house for that. That's what's going to happen.
Wait a minute, you don't understand.
Yeah,
because Delbert Hosemann is not a Republican, and he gets to say so in how these lines are drawn. In fact, he draws out Republicans.
I mean, he seemed to have won every time as a Republican. I know you don't think he's a Republican, but I mean,
nobody thinks he's a Republican.
Well,
come on.
Well, the voters who overwhelmingly elect him every time apparently think he is. I mean, we talked about this last night. What did he win by last time? 10 points? I mean, so they all think he's a Republican.
What Republican draws out Republican districts?
Well, I mean, you've had your chance to make that argument to the voters, and they haven't listened to it, is what I'm saying. That's your party. You should be able to tell them that, but they're not listening.
I just think we have made so many strides when it comes to black people and white people. And why do we automatically assume white people are Republicans and black people are Democrats? And why does that matter?
Because that's generally the case.
Everybody should have their own voice. Everybody should get their vote and for it to count.
Well, in the South, that just generally tends to be the case. I mean, white people are Republicans, black people are Democrats. I mean, this is that not a fact of life. It's not a stereotype. It's just factual. I mean, it's just the way it turns out to be. Now, of course, there are black Republicans and there are white Democrats. I mean, we know that. But majority-wise, black folks tend to be Democrat, white folks tend to be Republican. And I mean, I think you could clearly see that by anybody who's elected in the state of Mississippi. You can see that by any, like, go to a Republican gathering and there's like 3 black people maybe, or I'm sure Democratic gatherings the reverse. I mean, it's just what it is. I mean, this is reality. I mean, I'm just saying what everybody knows. That's just the reality of the situation.
In my mind, though, I just don't think that's right.
I mean, I think I agree. Where I think it'd be great if both parties would have if it was cross-racial more. I think that'd be awesome if there was more of that. But it's just not. I mean, that's just the way we are. It's not. The Republican Party is the white people's party. Democratic Party is the black people's party in the South. That's just the way it's kind of come across. And there's historical reasons for that, of course. But that's just the way lines are drawn in the sand on that.
But why are district lines drawn like that? I mean, why?
Well, for the reasons I said, because then minorities wouldn't have a voice in their politics, is the reasoning the courts have come up with for that.
They have a voice.
They may change that.
They still get to vote. They have a voice.
I mean, but then it will be it'll be districted up to benefit the majority. And this state, of course, is white Republicans. So now look, that may happen though. The Supreme Court may rule that way. They may agree with you. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in that case. I think it's very likely that could happen though.
I just feel like the districts should be drawn in a way that puts the same amount of people in each district, regardless of whether they are black or white or red or purple or yellow. Jesus loves all the little children of the world. I mean, it does. To me, that just shouldn't matter.
Well, I mean, look, I think I think that's a legitimate opinion to have, what you're saying. I don't think that's like illegitimate. I think you're saying like it should just be fair or population equal around districts, but the reality, though, I think there was other considerations that come into play here. If we do that, then black voters are going to have no political power whatsoever. Which, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that say they would like that.
I disagree because
they're not. I mean, they're not going to have any.
But
Well,
Shaun,
that's exactly what's going to happen.
Shaun, they still get to vote.
Yeah, and
elect
no candidate of their choice. That's why this was done.
I don't see the point in it. I think, again,
well, if I was a Republican, I probably wouldn't either, because I'd be like, yeah, we're going to get all our candidates. I mean, it's just
that's not even my point in this. That's not even why I feel this way. I just feel this way because I think that's the fair thing to do, is draw the districts where they are all equal amount of people in them, regardless of what their political party is or what their race is. I just don't think that should be taken into consideration, because then you're tampering, in my opinion. And to say they don't have a voice, if you don't draw districts in a way to make sure Democrats can win, and then to say we have to do it or they don't have a voice, that's just not true.
It absolutely is true. There'll be no, but they'll. Well, excuse me, we got a text from Kid Wade. Okay, maybe he would be the one black Republican. But see, he switched sides on so many issues over the years. I never know where he is. One day he's a Muslim, one day he's a Christian. I don't know. I mean, he's malleable, so you don't know really where he is.
Kim Wade is a Christian. Don't.
But other than Kim Wade and the other two black Republicans in the entire state of Mississippi.
Oh my gosh, Shaun.
Then it's just this is a reality. That's what's going to happen. And look, if you want, I could get it if you're a Republican. I mean, if I was a Republican, I'd want that reality. But like, heck, we got all the power. But it's not. Black folks are not going to have a voice if you do this. If this happens, that's just a reality of the situation.
One of my favorite reps in the House right here in Mississippi is one of the most conservative ones. Is a black man. So I just feel like this.
Well, that's like saying I got a black friend. When people say I got a black friend, I'm not racist.
That's not what I said. I'm not racist. I mean,
his name's Bobby. He lives down the street.
Shut up, Shaun. It's like that token black guy and all the
It's like everybody says, like, I'm not racist. I got a black friend. I know black people. It's cool. Kim Wade says that all the time too, because you got to like make sure that he's not a racist.
How can he be racist? He's black.
He's a self-hating black man, though.
Well, I mean, that's what you crazy liberals think that white people should be, or self-hating.
There is self-hating, like liberals that are self-hating white. I met a lot of them. You've met. I'm not going to say his name, but some of my friends. I've discussed their father to you. That's equally as hilarious as Kim's position to me. Is the self-hating white man. I've met that. I've got one in my head right now that literally. The things that he says are so insane where you're like, dude, you're like an English white guy. Like, what the heck? I mean, it's like, so we got to fight the power. I'm like, bro, you ain't black. Like, anyway.
And his wife is out there like cheering.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say their name, but like, I know exactly. This exists. I mean, look, we got one at the radio station, and then we got one of my friend's fathers like this. So.
We do not have one at the radio station. Quit picking on my friend Kim now.
I'm just saying, those people exist that are self-hating of their own race. I don't know. They just do. But that's bipartisan. That is bipartisan. I met so many self-hating white liberals. They're like, I had one friend of mine who's so liberal that he was like crying one day saying, I think I need to talk to our black friend and explain I'm sorry that my great-great-grandfather had slaves. And I was like, what? Like, what does that have to do with you? I mean, but he was like crying. Like he was so sad about that his great-great-great-grandfather had owned slaves that like he made some kind of public apology. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. But people are crazy.
We watched that Matt Walsh documentary, Am I Racist?
Yeah, right. It was he's just like that, right? Like
there's this group of women, y'all, sitting at this table, and I think the first time Clay ever saw that clip, I think he almost lost his mind. I mean, he was so angry. But there's a group of women is sitting at this table, and they are talking about why they have white privilege. They're crying because they are white privileged, and they are just so angry with themselves for being white.
Yeah. There's a lot of those folks that are like that. It's completely insane. They're like, I gotta apologize for my whiteness and my privilege.
Our world has gone.
Well, I mean, look. This is so like people tend to not like look at their own sides and people they agree with and like are able to criticize that, right? And I think Republicans do the same thing, and liberals do the same thing. Liberals, with the groups that we're talking about, the self-hating white people, they so exist and don't believe it. Now, on the Republican side, I see like black dudes that are Republicans. I'm like, you ain't Republican. You're playing a little grift, like Byron Donalds. There's a good example of that.
Hey,
or Tim
hey,
Scott.
hey,
You know, come on. Tim Scott is like Wayne Brady playing a senator. I mean,
Look
come
now,
on. I mean, it's a
you're
role.
talking
I
about my
get it.
friends here.
But I'm just saying, these folks exist on both sides of the aisle. They just do, and you just have to look at it and kind of laugh, or you can buy into it if you want to. But I mean,
Well,
I see the self-hating white person and Tim Scott, and I laugh equally.
you're gonna have Starla. You're gonna have Starla on your case. You start dogging Byron.
Starla can tell me that Tim Scott is not Wayne Brady playing
Byron.
senator or Byron. There you go, another
Look,
one. I mean,
I love both Byron and Tim. Let me say that. I think
sure
they're some of the greatest congressmen.
They're good in
They're what?
like white people say to black people, he's a good in.
Good.
That's what. Yeah, they're just like
I've
Uncle
never heard
Tom's
of that
kind of.
before.
I'm just saying. All right, that's just what it is.
You can say my friends already. Here we go.
Okay. If you're being objective, you would think the same thing. So
No, I think they're amazing humans.
Okay.
I love them both. All right. And I love Kim Wade too. Kim, you're the best. We know.
Yes, he is. He's a great actor. I agree.
You're an outside.
He deserves an Academy Award.
You're an outside agitator, Shaun. We got to take a break. Y'all stay with us. We will be right back here at WIAB 103.9, The Lindsey Beckham Show.
.9 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Spring is in the air and temperatures are on the rise, requiring us to run the AC nonstop. Don't let those days sneak up on you. Call Pure Air Consultants today for your spring inspection on your AC system. Pure Air Consultants, your go-to Ring Pro partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time at all. Locally owned and operated, Ring and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue. Contact Pure Air Consultants today online at mypureconsultants.com. That's mypureconsultants.com.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our sweet the swamp pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun flip or dive into a sweet the swamp pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
After 28 years, we are closing our brick and mortar location in Canton come November 2025. But fear not, smalltownmusic.com will remain alive and well, and you will still be able to text or call 601-859-8596. Small Town Music, come on and get a look. 859-8596. Call before you're home. We will have a booth on Canton Square at the Emporium, and you can still browse our guitars and support our original music at www.smalltownmusic.com.
The IMAX at Malco Grandview Cinema offers moviegoers a truly immersive cinematic experience, a way to enjoy movies like never before. You're not just watching, you're a part of the action with IMAX technology at Malco Grandview Cinema in Madison. And now, relax and recline in luxury at Malco. The magic of the movies is even better with reclining seats at Malco Grandview Cinema in Madison and Renaissance Cinema Grill in Ridgeland. For more information and tickets, visit malco.com. We'll see you at the movies.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the Blue Plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
If you're a parent or grandparent, you should know that even though Mississippi is ranked as the unhealthiest state in the country, we have the highest vaccination rate for our children and grandchildren. Many of us blindly trust the medical establishment, and now it's time to question vaccine safety. Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights is a grassroots organization working to educate the public and lawmakers about this important topic. Be informed. Go to mpvr.org. Like us on Facebook to stay up to date on the latest information. That's Mississippi Parents for Vaccine Rights, mpvr.org.
Come together.
Welcome back into the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. We are live. This is the Lindsey Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsey Beckham. We are streaming live from Facebook, YouTube, and X. 601-879-0002 is the number if you have anything you would like to call in and say today. Shaun, let me tell you what happened yesterday.
What happened?
So it was the 6-month anniversary of Charlie Kirk's death yesterday, and I would be amiss if I did not say something about that, because I truly believe in so many things that Charlie stood for and what he did. Yesterday in South Carolina, one of their House representatives stood up on the House floor and made the remark that Moms for Liberty is a terrorist organization. Now,
Okay.
so you're a terrorist for believing that you should be able to raise your child the way you see fit. This sounds a lot like Biden's Department of Justice, who wanted to call any parent that showed up at a school board meeting a domestic terrorist. You're putting a target hit on our backs just because we fight for our kids.
So who said this? The South Carolina legislator?
Yes, South
Was
Carolina.
was that like a response? Isn't there wasn't there a guy from South Carolina that was legislative? There was Moms for Liberty's legislative of the year, but he was like a pedophile that went by Joe Biden 6969 or something like that. Is that why they?
I don't know what he went by. Obviously, he had passed some really good legislation, and Moms for Liberty South Carolina did honor him. Now, when they found out about this, they completely retracted that and made a statement saying, they obviously do not support.
we don't like pedophiles here in Moms for Liberty. Yeah, it's a
No,
pretty
we
easy
don't.
position to take, isn't it?
No, we don't. But
y'all have had some mishaps.
But to say something like that on the 6-month anniversary of Charlie Kirk's death, and then to put basically a hit out on all the moms who care enough to speak out and fight for their children and what they believe is right, especially when it comes to their education, I think is just absolutely sickening.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know what you guys have done anything terrorist-like. Except for that wacko lady that's a member of your guys that shoots all those videos. But other than her, she's not even a terrorist. She's a weirdo. That's the only one I can think of. You know what I mean? The one that was attacking the trans people in Hawaii.
Well,
that lady's psycho. But you weren't a terrorist. But I don't know how you guys are terrorists. There's some psychos, but not terrorists.
I completely disagree. And that woman,
that lady is a psycho. Come on.
That woman had her child transitioned without her consent.
But it had nothing to do with the people in Hawaii.
Well, can you not understand? Can you not understand why she would be a little angry at the people who push that agenda? I can totally. I would have some anger myself.
Yeah, okay. She looked whacked out. That's all I'm saying. Those people didn't have anything to do with it. They were in Hawaii, the hotel, just hanging out, drinking a Mai Tai, as you like to say. So they I don't know if they had anything to do with that.
I didn't say they had anything to do with it. I said, obviously, when you, do you not think that I would say something if I saw a bunch of people forcing vaccines on people or giving vaccines out to children? Of course.
Well, you just made it. There you go. You just qualified it differently. You said forcing vaccines. Now, those people were just sitting there drinking Mai Tais at the hotel lobby. They didn't do anything. They were just chilling. I don't know that that qualifies as forcing or doing anything. They were just existing, which apparently that lady had a problem with. I mean, I just think that was
Well, I mean,
ridiculous.
there are mentally ill people.
Well, I mean, I know, but I see people drooling on themselves all the time as being, I go attack them. I can't believe you're mentally ill. I don't do that.
Well,
Like, it's not my
okay,
business.
do you wanna look at how many of the last school shooters or
I don't know that. Well, there's a lot of mentally ill people. Doesn't make them all school shooters. I mean, like,
well, it
there's
seems like
a
it
lot
makes
of.
the trans people then.
Well, I mean, every person, like, just because I see a dude in the dress doesn't mean I'm gonna approach him and be like, why are you wearing that dress? What business is it of mine? I mean, I don't care. Like, no, the lady was wrong. It was stupid. There's no way to defend that. I'm sorry. So
Anyway, there's no
But
way
anyway, I was
a
agreeing with you that
representative
you're not terrorists. I was just saying, some wackos, but not
there is
terrorists.
no reason for someone, an elected official, to stand up and make those comments when we live in the world that we live in today where we see so much political violence. It's disgusting.
Oh, but I did pull up the article about South Carolina. I was right. He went by Joe Biden 69, the guy that Robert John May was the legislator in South Carolina. Joe Biden 69. Just to clarify. Okay, I can see you getting mad, like steaming about that. I'm just saying.
And your point is,
I'm just saying. Well, when you said South Carolina legislature, I was thinking about
I'm
like
talking about
the
what
other
happened
dude.
yesterday.
Well, I thought it was like a response to y'all like endorsing that guy.
This woman standing up and calling our group terrorists, which puts a hit on our backs, a target on us. Only for speaking out because we care about our children. We fight for our children. We fight for their education. That does not make me a terrorist. And how dare she?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think you're terrorists. I just think you guys make some bad endorsements.
Why can you not stay on topic?
I just because I'm me. I just remembered the Joe Biden 69 guy.
Aggravate the heck out of me. I'm talking about this woman yesterday in the statement.
Okay, I got it. They shouldn't call you terrorist. I agree with you. You want me to agree with you again? I agree with you. They shouldn't call you a terrorist. Okay, I'm not saying they should call you terrorist. I never said. You're saying they did. I say they shouldn't do that. I'm just saying. You. Huh?
You're so annoying sometimes.
I'm just saying you guys endorsed the guy that said Joe Biden 69 is like
nobody.
That's all I'm saying.
Hold up. First of all, we don't endorse in any races other than school board races, period. So nobody endorsed him. They did honor him for the legislation that he passed.
What was the legislation he passed about? Just curious.
Or he dropped legislation for parental. It was a parental bill of rights, I do believe. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look. But they honored him for fighting for parental rights. That does not mean that they knew what he was doing in his private life or that they would ever condone that.
I didn't realize this. Look at this. So he's a lawyer and he represented himself. That is really stupid, by the way. Do not represent yourself if you're a lawyer. That's a bad idea. What is the saying that a man that represents himself has a fool for a lawyer? That's true. I wouldn't represent myself. This guy, the Joe Biden 69 legislator.
Polo did that.
Polo did that too. Yeah, Polo. Yeah, I'll be talking about geniuses and world beaters. There you go, Polo.
Have you ever seen one represent themselves where they like ask the question and then run up and then?
Oh yeah, I tried a case like that years ago. Yes, you can ask. Scott was there. Scott. We were trying. This was like in 2009. This was so funny. This dude like fired his lawyer. It was an armed robbery. I remember because he armed robbed the was it Merchants and Farmers when it was called that over there by Piccadilly in North Jackson. And he worked at UPS, so he had his UPS outfit on. Just no joke. And then he fired his lawyer, and then like he took the stand and he'd like, "What's my name?" And he said, "I'm Chaz Pinkston." I still remember his name. And then he would get up and he would.
That sounds familiar to me.
I think I told you something about this story recently because his family. I don't want to get into that, but so like he would go back to the podium and like ask himself the question and then go back to the witness stand, and then like he had this. So while he's questioning himself, he'd actually confessed to the crime. Not that you really needed more evidence against him because it was like a video and he was in his UPS outfit. It just looked clearly like him. And also he went to the bank too early, so the vault didn't open in time, and he shot out the gun. Never even get any money. Well, anyway, so he had confessed and signed a confession, but he had claimed that he took way too much ibuprofen, and that had, made him falsely confess, which is Advil, right? So like when he was like talking about this on the stand, he's like, "Yeah, I took too much ibuprofen and I, confessed." And so then I got to cross-examine him as a prosecutor. I said, so ibuprofen, that's like Advil, right, bro? And he's like, yeah. So
did you really say bro?
Yeah, it was like that. Because it was so funny at the time. Like it was so, even the jury's laughing at this guy. Like it's so insane. And so eventually I was just like, so you took a lot of Advil and you confessed. And he's like, I did. I said, I have no further questions. I just sat down. I mean, what are you going to ask after that? Like, it's so stupid that you just, you know.
Was his ibuprofen laced with?
I mean, I just, that's what.
Hallucinogenics?
And then he did his own closing argument. And I remember this whole trial. I mean, that was 17 years ago. And he grabbed the statement. Yeah, I'm old. And they, I remember because I was just about turned 30. And there was like a line crease mark. And for the younger people, when you like would copy something back in the day on a copy machine, there would be like a crease mark, if you remember that. And so like he got up and he grabbed the confession in front of the jury. He said, ladies and gentlemen, you can see this thing has been doctored. And you see the crease mark? It was like a copy, you know. And he said it was like made up. It was doctored because he had copied it. He'd used the copy machine.
God
so
bless.
yes, he was not the most astute lawyer that I'd ever faced. Let's put it that way.
Shaun, question for you.
Yep.
Why do defense attorneys, when they cross-examine the witness, circle and checks whatever it is on their notebook with attitude?
Why do they do what now?
I don't really understand the question.
Oh, like, you know, like you talking about like crossing out something on their legal pad or something when they were questioning. Is that what they mean?
I guess maybe.
Well, sometimes there's two reasons. Sometimes like you do, like some people have like a list of questions and they check it off. Like they remember to ask. I don't ever write a lot of stuff down on a legal pad. I just kind of free flow. Lindsey kind of probably uses that by now. And, but some people are very, some people need notes and are more meticulous. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. And they'll check it off. Or the second reason is because it's like visual effect. Like they've watched too many movies. I've seen a lot of trial lawyers do this, and they like, let me check it off, you know. And they'll say, because you'll know that like a lawyer like doesn't have a lot of experience in trying cases when they'll say things like, objection, he's badgering a witness. Well, I don't think there's like such thing as an objection called badgering the witness that I've ever heard of or ever seen in the rule book. But I've seen lawyers do that before because I'm like, did you watch Law and Order or something, man? Like I don't know where in the rules of evidence it says badgering a witness, but I've seen lawyers do it, you know. So I think there's a lot of mix between TV and trial law that, you know, people that from that experience have watched too much TV and they go and try a case and they do things like check off their notepad or object to badgering the witness and all that kind of stuff. So I know I have a whole list of jokes I make about this, like, because it's just funny to me after years of seeing that. I'm like, okay.
This will be a good topic when we get back. We're going to take a break, but when we get back, the person who asked this question said that she's watching the Corey Richins trial and noticed it. We were just recently in Utah. So let's talk about Corey when we get back. I think that's a very interesting case. Y'all stay with us because you're not going to want to miss this. It's a doozy. We'll be right back here at WIB 103.9, the Lindsey Beckham Show.
Keep it tuned. 39 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Spring is in the air and temperatures are on the rise, requiring us to run the AC nonstop. Don't let those days sneak up on you. Call Pure Air Consultants today for your spring inspection on your AC system. Pure Air Consultants, your go-to Ring Pro partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time at all. Locally owned and operated, Ring and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue. Contact Pure Air Consultants today online at mypureconsultants.com. That's mypureconsultants.com.
Get ready, Louisiana! Johnny's Pizza House is turning up the heat with our sweet the swamp pizza. Packed with crawfish, shrimp, a taste of crab, andouille sausage, bell peppers, onions, jalapenos, and a blend of Cajun spices, all smothered in delicious mozzarella cheese. It's the perfect bite of the bayou and the perfect meal for any Cajun crave. Try our Cajun flip or dive into a sweet the swamp pizza bowl. A taste of Louisiana flavor is waiting on you. Let's share a slice today at Johnny's Pizza House.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
CBS News brief. President Trump says Iran is on the ropes on day 12 of the war.
They've lost their Navy. They've lost their Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft apparatus at all. They have no radar. Their leaders are gone.
Trump promising great safety for ships in the Strait of Hormuz. A coalition of countries says it will free up 400 million barrels of emergency oil. Gas prices in the U.S. are up nearly 40 cents a gallon over the last week. This rideshare driver is in Atlanta feeling the squeeze.
I was putting the mid-range at $3.02, and now it's almost at $4, making us work more.
And parts of the nation's midsection were hit by severe weather. Lori Postma is with the Lake Township Volunteer Fire Department in Indiana.
We did locate some very injured people and 2 fatalities.
CBS News Brief. I'm Steve Kathan.
Since 2012, Brentech Solutions has been keeping Central Mississippi businesses connected and protected. From secure data backup and cloud services with Synology to reliable network design and maintenance, servers, and business Wi-Fi, Brentech truly does it all. Brentech is your Ring Pro partner and smart home automation solutions provider. Brentech can handle Microsoft 365 support and even Starlink. Visit brentech.ms. That's brentech.ms. IT solutions that work.
Friday mornings are special here on 103.9 WYAB. That's when we hit the pause button on the stressful issues of the day and enjoy interesting conversation and terrific music by some of the most outstanding artists in the world, all from Mississippi. I'm Jim Thorne, inviting you to join us every Friday morning at 9 for That's What's Happening's Blues and Arts Hour, made possible by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Mississippi. It's good to be blue, and presented by one-of-a-kind, locally owned Fusion Coffee House, Highland Colony Parkway, Ridgeland.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Benny Tate, president of the Congregational Methodist Church denomination in Florence, Mississippi, and the pastor of Rock Springs Church in Milner, Georgia, inviting you to attend one of our services this week. Find a church near you at cm-church.org and be sure and listen every Sunday morning at 7:30 a.m. for our weekly program, Apples of Gold from Rock Springs Church, here on 103.9 WYAB.
Dr. Mike Stonington here from Stonington Farm Grass-Fed Beef. Here in South Mississippi on Stonington Farm, our steers are grass-fed and grass-finished. No grain, no hormones, no antibiotics, no mRNA vaccines. Our grass-fed and grass-finished beef is straight from our farm to your table. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and at StoningtonFarm.com. That's StoningtonFarm.com with 2 N's. And we deliver every 4 weeks to the Jackson area. We are the grass-fed difference.
From a cabin on a creek to a field where the big bucks sneak. Oh, yeah! Tom Smith Land and Homes. Find your place where your roots can grow. From hunting ground to your front door key, call the landman of Mississippi. Tom Smith Land and Homes. Yeah, the landman's who you need. Brought to you by Tom and Ellen Smith. Tom Smith Land and Homes. That's it.
Welcome back into the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. We are live. We are also joined by attorney Shaun Yurtkuran. Shaun, I think I was a little blown away. I had not heard of Corey Richens until we were actually in Utah recently, and that's all that was on the news. The trial was starting. Do you want to give people kind of a breakdown of what this case consists of, what happened, and what's going on?
Yeah, so we were actually, I didn't know anything about it. We were in Salt Lake City a couple weeks ago, and this has been a national trial about Corey Richens, I believe is her name. And
Yeah.
she published a book about children's book about coping with grief. And I guess after their father died, which was her husband, she did this. And of course, now she's accused of assisting in his murder, or poisoning him, I believe is what it is, with fentanyl in 2022. And I think that what she did was she wanted to, I believe, to get the life insurance policy, and she was having an affair with a guy. And so she killed him and then went off with this dude and got the money and all that kind of stuff. And it's the classic story. And I've told Lindsey this so many times. I mean, all the years that I prosecuted cases and now I defend them, but especially on the prosecution side, I dealt with a lot more murders than I do now, thankfully, fortunately. I still deal with some. There's several reasons why somebody kills someone. It's not usually the the really interesting stuff you see again on TV or a documentary or some serial killer. And though I have prosecuted one of those kinds of cases, only one, that was I guess you would call quote unquote serial killer, but it's usually over a woman. I always say that's like a lot of them are just over a woman. There's some situations where it's a love affair. Here was a woman doing the killing, which is not as common generally. Money or drugs. So like those three things, like love affairs, money, drugs. Usually like a random person just doesn't get smoked on the street. Like this is not usually the way it happens. I mean, maybe if you walk into a convenience store and the guy's robbing it and you accidentally get killed, or maybe the clerk gets shot,
that kind of stuff. School with a transgender person.
Yeah, a transgender person comes in your school and shoots up. You buy when you see a dude in a dress with a rifle, run. That's probably a good idea. And look at me. I'm acting like Lindsay today. Probably run then. But if you see Kim Wade around anywhere around your school, go the other way. You never know. I mean, he switched positions so many times. You don't know what he could be a transgender shooter. Who knows? I'm kidding. He's not. That's a joke. Anyway, so I think those are generally the ways that you see a murder happen. Here's a classic thing. You got love, you got money, and all that stuff. Now, when I read about it, I was thinking, the guy that's having the affair with her, like, did he know that she was going to kill the husband? And if he did he, like, is he okay with it? Like, she's not going to do that to me. And
she bought the drugs from the maid.
Well, it's also too like it's kind of in a base level relationships like that. When somebody's having a marital affair and they leave the person they're married to for the person they're having an affair with, I always wonder, does the person in the affair think like this person's like a moral, like upstanding person that's just gonna not do the same thing again? Like they're gonna be true to you? Like, okay, come on. Like, anyway, so if this guy was involved, I blame him. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know that he was. I haven't read up into it.
I mean, I think the kicker in this case is the fact that she had the audacity to write a children's book dealing with grief. As a mom who lost her spouse and had children, I'm speechless about this. How could you possibly write a children's book dealing with grief when you're the one who caused the grief?
I mean, well, Lindsay, it's pretty obvious. Sometimes the cover up is worse than the crime, as they say. So that's probably, I mean, she was thinking, hey, there's no way they're going to believe that I did it if I wrote a book about grief for our kids and for other kids, obviously. I mean, it sounds so crazy. Like she was probably, that's what she was thinking. Though sometimes when you do things like that, you make yourself look more guilty, and people don't always realize that. Like, because, if you're doing things to try to not make yourself look guilty, that's when the suspicion rises a lot of times. And I've seen that so many times I can't even count. When someone like overcompensates, like that's you're like, okay, well, they probably did it. And by the way, the first suspect in any murder is the spouse. And for obvious reasons, anybody that's been married, I've been married twice, I understand that completely. So that's so she's the first suspect anyway. The police were looking at, especially when the guy's poisoned. I mean, like, what did you go to Chick-fil-A and get a bad, a nugget sandwich or something? Come on, like that person looked at her.
This wasn't even the first time she tried it. She had tried it before, and I guess didn't give him enough. And he even called up his friend and says, "I think my wife just tried to poison me and kill me."
And he hung around. I didn't know this part. So I haven't read as much into it.
Why do you hang around after that?
Okay, well, he's an idiot then. I mean, if he knows she's trying to poison him, and then he's like, "Oh, cool, maybe she'll get better." Okay, well, or maybe he's happier now. I don't know.
He's dead.
I know what I'm saying, but he's not married to her anymore, so maybe he's happier. You're looking at me like I'm crazy, but
because that sounded like
he's in a better place, Lindsay, is what I'm saying. He's a happier man now.
Those poor kids. Oh gosh, the trauma that you have to live with, that you have to try to work through after that. Oh, Dad.
Yeah, explain that to your kids. Like, I just gave your daddy some fentanyl.
Yeah, and
that's gonna work.
And that's right. She did. She claimed to, or has claimed to the police, and I guess as her defense, that he was a drug addict.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that sounds like in par for her excuses, right? I mean, she's writing a book. She's a drug addict. Guy took fentanyl, or she gave him fentanyl. How did she administer the fentanyl? I don't even know that. All this. Lindsay, y'all follow true crime way more than I do. So, I mean, because I have to do this every day for a living, so I'll let her keep me up to speed. So how did he put it in, like, in his beer or what?
It was something he ate or drank. It was.
Okay.
someone asked what we think of the Nancy Guthrie case. Now, y'all all know I'm a conspiracy theorist over here, and you just cannot make me believe that Savannah Guthrie is one of the first people to talk about Epstein and the Epstein files and interview some of the victims, and then all of a sudden her mom has disappeared. There's got to be a connection somehow in that. I can't see how there couldn't be or there wouldn't be.
Have they found the lady yet, or no? That's not.
No.
I mean, there's so much news, y'all, that like I get confused. I know that was a big thing like a month ago, and and then God bless the family. I hope they find her. But then we had the war, so then that kind of was dominated for obvious reasons, the news cycle. So I completely forgot about Savannah. I'm not gonna lie.
It was very strange though, Shaun. Savannah makes this video and puts it out, and she uses, what was it, the silence of the lamb, some terminology, some quote from some movie, and it's like, what are you trying to say here? Is this kind of like a mixed signal, or was this something somebody told you to say for a reason? At first they thought she was definitely alive. Now they're saying, of course, they know she could be gone at this point. She had medical problems. She didn't have her medication, so it's not looking good.
Sure, I understand that. Yeah, I mean, being gone, what's it been, like 2 months now, or something like that? Close to that?
4 or 5 weeks. Not quite 2 months.
Okay. Yeah, I hope they find it, but obviously it sounds like she's probably not alive. I mean, generally, you don't. I mean, I guess statistics wise, you don't last that long in captivity when it's these kind of situations. Usually, they're not going to hold somebody for that long. But hopefully she is. We'll see. I guess we'll see. I don't know the conspiracy rabbit hole that Lindsey knows about this. So.
Well, and not only that, not only was she one of the first ones to call out the Epstein files and interview the victims, but also I think her husband worked for the Clintons, and so there's.
And we know that Hillary Clinton, I mean, she's got a reputation for getting rid of folks. So.
I mean,
I mean, that's I wouldn't want to cross Hillary. So that's didn't they say something last night? We were heard about the Epstein thing and how something about the guard. They found like payments to the guards now. They found some actual payments to the guards, or one of the guards has received payments in like a nice Land Rover, like right before Epstein, quote unquote, committed suicide.
I don't know.
I was watching Breaking Point, so that's what they were saying, and they're usually pretty reputable shows. So I was like, huh, okay. Was it from Hillary? Was it from Hillary, you think?
Probably. I mean, it's probably one of those emails she deleted, Someone says I'm also a firm believer in Gibbs rules number 13, never involve lawyers. I don't know what that means.
Well, generally, I think that's probably a good idea. If you don't have to have a lawyer, I wouldn't want to consult. I wouldn't want to deal with one, I mean, usually if you have to get a lawyer, it means you're like not in a good situation. I mean, unless maybe you're like inheriting a ton of money and you need one to do like some sort of trust for you or something. Maybe in that situation you're happier. But when you gotta call a lawyer, it's not usually a good thing. I was telling somebody, or maybe it was on a Facebook thread, they were asking me about. Somebody was asking me a question about child support payments, talking about Dak Prescott. That's what it was. And I said, look, I don't do family law for a very specific reason, because then I'd have every friend and family member I know call me up and say, hey, I got a question for you. Can you give me some free legal advice? So I know nothing about family law, thank God. And I tend to keep it that way. But because of my only friends and family
only about divorces.
Yeah, I know about, I can get myself out of a marriage pretty well. But but only time friends and family member call you when you're a criminal defense lawyer, like stuff's gone bad real quick. Like that's the only time. It's never, let me consult you about this time I killed a hooker. Like it's never that. I mean, because they don't want to admit that. Well, one time, no.
So this listener said that Corey's husband did get his insurance squared away. So obviously he knew she was trying to kill him, and he changed his insurance. Can you imagine if you kill your husband, then you find out you're not the beneficiary on the life insurance?
Oh, that's great. That's great. Good. Well, he got one on her.
Did it for nothing.
Did it for nothing. Wasted the whole thing. How about this crazy idea of just leave the marriage? Like, why do people kill each other? Just leave. Just go. Like, I don't ever understand that. I don't understand the whole thing about people that have these long secretive affairs. Like, I'm like, are you enjoying living your life like that? Just leave. Right now we get a divorce rate that's like, what, 60% or 55%. Obviously, people are not having a problem leaving their marriages. So why are you staying? And usually it's because they'll say, well, it's because of the kids. Well, wow, what a good example you're setting for them, lying. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
And then, or financial or whatever. So like, those are the reasons. But I mean, if you're that unhappy, you want to kill your spouse, it's time to go.
Probably leave.
It's time to leave the relationship.
Speaking of that, we got to leave and take our last break. Y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here on the Lindsey Beckham Show to wrap things up here on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll be right back. Show to wrap things up here on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll be right back.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Delicious food and a relaxing atmosphere combine to make the best place for sports fans and foodie fans to watch the game and just hang out. Capitol Grill of Jackson. Of course they've got the games, but food, oh my goodness. Mouth-watering po' boys, fish, steaks, appetizers, and a specialty pizza menu. Kitchen opens at 5 Monday through Thursday and 11 Friday through Sunday. And happy hours are daily at Capitol Grill. Also enjoy the all-new Tuesday night and karaoke on Wednesday and Friday nights from 8 till midnight with DJ Money Ma. Capitol Grill, DeVille Plaza in Jackson.
Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association wants you to stay away from downed power lines. Downed power lines carry the risk of deadly electric shock, even if the broken wire is not sparking. If a wire is crossing a road or driveway, avoid the area and keep others away. If you see a downed power line, back away and call your utility company or 911. When you call, be prepared to provide the specific address or location of the downed power line so a repair crew can get there as quickly as possible. This safety message brought to you by Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association.
The 19th Annual Township Jazz Festival is Saturday, April 11th in Ridgeland. 8 hours of live jazz, headlined by Grammy winner Nestor Torres. Also featuring the Tropic Owls from New Orleans, along with local favorites like the Vamps, Southern Comfort, the JSU Jazz Band, and much more. And admission still free. That's the Township Jazz Festival on Highland Colony Parkway in Ridgeland. Visit townshipjazzfestival.com. You can show your pride and patriotism in honor of the 250th birthday of this great nation by proudly flying a flag. And a complete flag source on I-55 in Jackson is the place to find it. All sizes for all purposes. And they have the official 250-year celebration flag. Have a look at CompleteFlags.com. That's CompleteFlags.com.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Spring is in the air and temperatures are on the rise, requiring us to run the AC nonstop. Don't let those days sneak up on you. Call Pure Air Consultants today for your spring inspection on your AC system. Pure Air Consultants, your go-to Ring Pro partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time at all. Locally owned and operated, Ring and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue. Contact Pure Air Consultants today online at mypureconsultants.com. That's mypureconsultants.com.
Grizz Nation, get your family, friends, and fellow fans together and get to FedEx Forum in Memphis for the next Grizzlies home game on Thursday, March 12th. The Grizz take on the Dallas Mavericks at home in a division matchup tipping off at 7 p.m. Get your best Memphis Grizzlies seats today at grizzlies.com/tickets or the FedEx Forum box office in Memphis.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repair? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
When it's time to get serious about work-ready equipment, come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. From rugged Big Tex trailers to durable CM and Legend X truck beds, H&H has what your truck needs to work harder and last longer. For the field, H&H carries reliable ag equipment from Salford, New Leader, and Chandler. Visit H&H Chief Sales in Carthage today or anytime at hhchiefsales.com. H&H, quality equipment, knowledgeable service, and solutions that work as hard as you do.
Come together.
Welcome back in for the final segment here on this Wednesday afternoon. Shaun, we have like 30 seconds. Tell people where to find you and what you do.
Well, I defend people in bad situations, like I was talking about before. So if you have things have gone sideways, give me a call. I'm an expert at those situations. It's good for you, but maybe not good for my PTSD. Anyway, you could call me at 601-862-1320 or visit us at onetextlaw.com. That's ONETEX or onetextlaw.com. You can use the number 1 too. It'll go to the same place. And we
gotta go. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye.